What's going on, guys? This is Twitched Out from the F.E.A.R Clan Elite. I'm going to go ahead and show you the different emulators that I have tested and have used, and what I've come to find the better emulator for me running multiple accounts on Clash of Clans. So anyways, we're going to get started. I'll show you later how to install these things, and right now I'm just going to show you what they are and how they work and what I find to be the better ones. So the first one that I'm going to go over is BlueStacks. BlueStacks, you can get a free version. Go ahead and click on it. Sometimes it launches, sometimes it doesn't. I noticed that, if it doesn't launch like this the first time, just click the executable again. I don't know why this happens. It's kind of a pain, but go ahead and let this launch. BlueStacks is kind of slow when it comes to launching the application and launching Clash of Clans, but once it gets started, it's all right. So you notice here, this kind of looks more like a Kindle as opposed to a smartphone. But the one nice thing, if you saw that clipper load, one of the nice things about BlueStacks is you can actually copy from your PC or your Mac to Clash of Clans chat, which is pretty cool. So you can, copy pictures and stuff like that and post them, ASCII based, text based pictures and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch Clash of Clans here. You'll watch it start. It does take a little bit longer to load out of here, but it does have, some pretty cool features in it. The downside is, you can only run, let me turn that volume down, you can only run one instance of Clash of Clans, which is kind of a bummer. So, or at least at the same time, you can swap accounts inside the settings, but that's kind of a pain. You have to clear the cache, and then, but if you want to watch all three of them and play all three of them or two of them at the same time, you can't really do that. So inside of Clash of Clans here, you can see it's pretty smooth. The transition is pretty smooth. The way you zoom in and out is you hold the control key on your keyboard and you left mouse click and drag up or down. I'm sorry, the wheel. You use the wheel on your mouse, and there you go. And here is BlueStacks. As you can see, it's pretty. Let me collect my loot here real quick. I am a diehard Clash of Clans player. Obviously, my clan is F.E.A.R Elite, F.E.A.R Recon, F.E.A.R War, and F.E.A.R Vets, and F.E.A.R Army. So we're a big F.E.A.R family here. So check us out on our YouTube. It is spelt just like you see here. F.E.A.R. Family is our Instagram, and our YouTube obviously is F.E.A.R Clash. We have our website being built, but let me get back into the subject at hand here. So this is one account running BlueStacks, and I had two accounts, and so what I would do is I would then run an application called Andy at the same time. Let me go ahead and minimize that, and I will show you Andy. Now, Andy's pretty cool. One of the cool features with Andy, in my opinion, is it's running off of Oracle VirtualBox. So you can adjust some of the settings, the amount of how many processors, the amount of RAM you want to use, your display, memory, and so on and so forth inside of VirtualBox. One thing I do notice that Andy loads a lot slower. Now you can change these settings inside VirtualBox and make those adjustments, but I just, I'm not really too fond of Andy. But it does have more of the tablet or smartphone layout. As you can see here, you've got all your standard settings. If it'll launch, there we go. So you've got your standard settings, that you can go to your home page, your, all your functionality. So I'm gonna launch Clash of Clans here, and you'll notice it loads a lot quicker than BlueStacks once it launches. You can just see the load time there. It's a lot quicker. BlueStacks took a little bit longer if you paid attention to it. So here is Andy. Obviously, the screen resolution, the size of your playable area is not as big. The way you actually zoom in and out is, again, you hold the control key, and you notice you see the two little dots on the screen. They're very faint, but those are like two fingers. So if I bring it out here and left mouse click and then drag it in, oops, I actually selected something here, and I drag it in, it'll shrink it in, and if I drag it out, it'll zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. So this is, let me collect my loot here. This is Andy. So I would run both applications here, as you can see. Now I've got, there is my BlueStacks and there's my Andy. They're both running at the same time, and it's pretty smooth. The problem is if you want to have another account. Well, and also launching two separate applications is kind of a pain to get this going. It worked fine at the time, but I come to find that if you want something to run all of it at the same time, there's a problem here. So I did a lot of research, a lot of installation, configuration, tweaking, and taking other ideas from other places. And, you know, I found a solution, and getting it to work was kind of a pain, but, you know, you guys won't have to go through my struggle. So there's Andy. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of Andy. I just close out of it. It's going to ask, do you want to shut down the VM or just exit the game? I'm going to shut down the VM because I don't need it running, because I'm going to show you guys alternatives. So, and then you see here's BlueStacks, and I'm going to exit out of BlueStacks as well. And then just close out of BlueStacks. Well, right up here, it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to show you what I've come to find out that works for more than two accounts. So, and actually seems to work better if you're running two, because you get the same resolution and you can have so many different setups. So GenyMotion is pretty cool. These are all free versions that you can get. You can add different types of phones. So you've got your Galaxy Note 3 here. I think I was running another type of a tablet here. It's a high resolution, so you have to have a lot of resources to actually run these high resolutions. And then I ran a Nexus 7, but let me go ahead and show you what they look like. So I have this same account that I was running on BlueStacks, and watch how much faster it loads. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. It's launching my virtual box in the background, and I'll show you how that works. And again, it uses the same concept as Andy. It launches a virtual machine. And so you can see the screen size. You'll see the speed at which it loads. It's a lot faster than both BlueStacks and Andy. And you can run multiple accounts from one location. So here's the high resolution. I mean, I'm running 2560 at 1600. Let me go ahead and unlock this. So here we go. And this does look just like a tablet. You've got all your settings on the side, your volume up and down, which is really cool. You don't have this in BlueStacks. So if I wanted to play music while I'm playing Clash of Clans, but I still want to hear, you know, I still like to hear some of the loot get collected, but I don't like it real loud, I can actually turn the volume down here and still listen to my music, and it's pretty cool. All your same functions as a tablet. I'm going to go ahead and click on Clash of Clans here. And I can adjust the volume up and down here. Now, look how much faster this loads than BlueStacks or Andy. I mean, it's just so much quicker. So here's the same account. Now, the zoom in and zoom out, again, it's the control key, but you hold the left mouse button and you slide right or left while holding the control key on your mouse, and you'll see it zooms in and out, in and out, in and out. So same functionality. One of the downsides I have noticed in this one is you don't get, I think I might have my other machine, something else running, because something is running a little sluggish here. You don't get the same resolution. I mean, I'm sorry, the copy function. You don't get that in Andy, and you don't get that here. So you can't go into here and use, normally on a Windows-based machine, it's Control V to paste and Control C to copy. Well, one of the nice things with BlueStacks is you could actually use Control C to copy something from your PC and then come into here and paste it. I haven't found a solution to that yet in Andy or GenyMotion, so I will try to find something more for that. But here you go. You can see it's pretty smooth here. Here's this account. Now, if you're going to run this size screen, I can only run 2 instances of this size screen at the same time, because when I try to launch the third, everything becomes sluggish. Now, those settings are based on your VirtualBox. So, and the other thing I noticed is the transition is real smooth from desktop to here, but when you bring it into GenyMotion, you need to move the mouse and then click and drag. And for some reason, moving the mouse causes, instead of clicking, causes it to capture the mouse in this screen. If you let it sit here for a minute, it just stops the mouse capture. So I move the mouse and then I go ahead and allow it to give it that second to capture the mouse, and then obviously you can, all your functionality works. But I just move the mouse first. So this right here is GenyMotion. I'm gonna cancel out of this. This is what it looks like. I can launch 2 of them so you can see, but it's such a large resolution, it's going to be hard to see in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this one, and I'm going to launch my smaller ones, which are the Note 3. So let me go ahead and launch that same account that I just showed you, and it's going to launch here. And while it's launching, so this obviously has the taller, view, and it'll flip to landscape in a moment, or when you launch Clash of Clans. One thing I have noticed that's kind of a little buggy in GenyMotion, but I just deal with it, is that it sometimes doesn't launch the initial VM, the Oracle virtual machine, as quickly. So why that is, I'm not sure. It could be because I'm switching between apps so quick. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this here. And I don't know if it's becoming sluggish because I'm recording at the same time. But usually I don't. It's extremely fast when I'm not recording, so we'll see. Alright, so here is, again, I move the mouse, and then I can drag my stuff around. So obviously, bummer, there's no loot. So I'm going to go back into here, and I'm going to launch my other account, which is the same settings, but it's with my other account. And don't worry, I'll show you how to set these all up one by one on my next video. I'll show you how to set up Andy on one. I'll show you how to set up BlueStacks, and as well I'll show you how to set up GenyMotion. So here is the second account going to launch. One of the nice things about this is you get one application to launch all your Clash of Clans, as well as you can get the same resolution on each one, so you're not dealing with different ones. So let me go ahead and unlock this here, launch my Clash of Clans here. And I'm actually testing another one that's at 800, I think 1080. So it's a little bit lower resolution, because I think that the biggest problem that you face here is the actual resolution is what will cause your machine to become sluggish. So here's the 2 accounts. Here's one here, and here's one here. You can see they're both live accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and launch my third account. And that was the whole reason why I started investigating this, because I was fine just running a BlueStacks and an Andy. But, I wanted to, I'm a clasher, so we had to get 3 accounts. So here's my third account. Same resolution, same everything. You'll see it launch as well. Now, I might lose some, it might become a little sluggish because I am recording at the same time. So Go ahead and let this load. Yeah, it is going to be a little sluggish because I am launching 3 of these applications at the same time. So, but I just want to show you that it does work and I do run it. So let me go ahead and, whoops, open this up, launch Clash of Clans. This is my 3rd account. Now, mind you, I have a lot of resources on my machine. I am running, 3 ATI graphics cards. They are, I'm running 3 monitors. I'm running 16 gigs or 32 gigs of RAM, 8 processors, um, you know, 32 cores. So, they're i7s. So I do have a lot of resources available. So if you don't have these resources available, you're probably not going to be able to run as many. But you can have all your accounts in one place, in one emulator application, and you can just open them maybe 2 at a time, and switch between them. So here's all 3 of my accounts running as you see at the same time. So there you go. GenyMotion, Andy, BlueStacks. These are your 3 major players out there for emulators. Obviously, you can do development and stuff inside of these. I'm not going to post any videos on some of the stuff that I've done because they're not relevant to this. But on my next videos, I'm going to show you how to install Andy, how to install BlueStacks, and how to install GenyMotion and set up the account. So that's it. Peace.